Hello, welcome back to Fist Entertainment for our next review, and that is of 2000's Scream 3. Now, I did want the steelbook of this, but they were out. But oh yeah, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I always liked this cover poster art that they had for his release. I think this is a much better picture than that steelbook. The original artwork for Scream 2, on the other hand, is kind of lifeless, but this one is definitely not. So I do prefer the standard 4K release over the steelbook on this one, if I had the choice. This one is definitely in the top 4 for me. I know that makes no sense. I know it makes no sense at all. But yeah, it is. It's definitely in the top 4 for me. And what is it about this one? Matter of fact, a lot of people don't like this one. Now you guys seen me destroy films that people love already. I mean, you saw that with the ABP films. Everybody loves those, apparently. I pretty much ripped them apart. That was fun. You guys saw me rip The Predator apart, and you guys thought that was funny because that's a film that everybody hates. Now, I'm going to do something that's going to be interesting, and we'll see what happens with this one. Everybody wants to rip this movie apart. I am going to defend this movie. I do not understand the hate that everybody has towards Scream 3. I never have. In my opinion, it's the work of genius on this one. And again, I love the theme that the first 3 films, the original trilogy as it were, had. I love the theme. And the theme basically is this: that it all is connected. It's like one singular story that kind of just flows and has branches coming off of it. And it comes full circle on this, because that's kind of what a trilogy is. A real trilogy. Now, the rules of a trilogy in a horror film trilogy was kind of set by the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. It's the first one that kind of set that up a bit. Like, for example, you know, the lead characters are obviously at, you know, a disadvantage of it being a trilogy, because in a trilogy, anything can happen, and that's kind of the overall theme they're kind of going with when it comes to this one. Now, let's go ahead and read the back synopsis real quick. Director Wes Craven delivers 3 times the terror in the 3rd installment of the Scream saga. Newly released in 4K UHD with HDR10 in Dolby Vision. I guess one does have HDR10 in Dolby Vision. Okay, cool. A reclusive Sidney Prescott, Neve Campbell, is pulled out of hiding, off to Hollywood, when someone starts killing the cast members of the film within a film, Stab 3. Ghostface warns of a twisted final act to the insidious game of horror movie mayhem, in which all roles are made to be broken. Co-starring Courtney Cox, David Arquette, and I always forget how to spell his name. Levi Schauder, the guy from the wonderful TV series Ray Donovan. I always have a hard time pronouncing his name, but he's one of my favorite actors, so definitely do like him. Also packed with surprising celebrity cameos. and new co-stars, including Parker Posey. All right. Well, there we learned. We learned that this one actually has HDR10. Now, and that explains a lot about the quality. So I will definitely go into that. Okay. Now, first the cameos we're talking about. You got Carrie Fisher in this movie. You got Lance Henriksen in this movie. But the twists in this movie get even better with this one. See, there was some pretty good twists in the second movie. Like, for example, you were always guessing who the killer was until about the last act of the film. You kind of figured it out that it was Timothy Ultimate's character was the killer. But then you get thrown a curveball when you find out that the killer was not him at all. He was one of the accomplices. The main killer was actually somebody else. And in this one, you keep guessing who the killer is until almost the very end of the film. And that right there is the work of genius. There's something predictable about who Ghostface is this time around. And I love that stuff. I love those twists. And I think what people don't like about this one, which makes no sense to me, is the fact that they feel like this film might have been a little too cliche. Well, that's the point. Isn't the Scream films all about calling out genre cliches in horror films? Isn't that the whole point? They're trying to pick on cliches that happen in horror films. So again, it's not a reason to hate on this movie. Some people hate the movie because of Courtney Cox's really weird freaking bang job on her hair. Okay, so they give Courtney Cox a really stupid haircut for Scream 3, and they think that's a justification for hating the movie. Think about real reasons to hate on this movie, because I can't find one. Well, I could find there are many reasons why this right here is a damn good Scream movie. That's all I can say about it. Now let's go on to the picture quality. Now this one makes sense because it says HDR10 in Dolby Vision, which definitely tells me why it looks so good. Because someone actually says that it does have HDR. See, the first two didn't say that. The first two was very clearly Dolby Vision. This one actually has HDR10 plus Dolby Vision, which this makes things even better in my opinion. And maybe their two did as well because they look good, but I think the quality is up a little bit more on this one. And that's probably to do with the time though. You see, both Scream and Scream 2 were made in 1996 and 1998. Sorry, I'm going to be firm on 1998. If it really was made in 1997, then one of you down there can tell me in the comment section below. But on that film, not this one. But Scream 3 was made in 2000, and we got out of the high resolution world in 2000. We weren't quite to the full HD Blu-ray world, but we were out of the high resolution world and into high definition by 2000. So this one was actually in 720p high definition. Now I'll explain that. I already explained it before, probably about 4 or 5 times, or possibly even more. But I'll explain it again for any new subscriber that has been coming to this channel. 1080 is not high definition. 720 is high definition. 1080 is full high definition. 2160 is ultra high definition. It's kind of like 1K, 2K, and 4K. Scream 3 was originally presented in 1K, not standard definition. And like all of them before, I had pretty much have seen and owned at one point or another every single physical release of this movie. And out of all of them, Scream 3 in 4K is probably, the 4K version is probably my preferred version of the film. It definitely sheds a lot of light on the situation. The HDR10 pops out all that color spectrum and those beautiful deep blacks and everything very, very well. I have nothing bad to say about the picture quality of this movie. The audio quality. Well, believe it or not, is a little bit better on this one than the first two. Don't know how, but it's a little bit better. Now, is it better enough to say it's like completely different? No. No, it's still toe-to-toe with Scream and Scream 2's 5.1 DTS HDMA, but it just has a little bit more effect on this one than it did in those first two. But I can't tell you how fun it has been to watch these films, because I never watched them in 4K before, in real true 4K experience. I haven't done that before, and turn the light off, turn off all the lights, and have it completely dark in the room really did add to the experience. And really, it felt like I was watching these films for the very first time again. And these films came out a long time ago, except for the current two. So yeah, definitely enjoyed it. Well, Scream 3. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. And I will see you next time.